Assalamu alaikum, shalom, shalom, hotep, Islam, alafia. What's going on, family? What's going on? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. We are here with another live episode. We are here with another DTR 360 Books episode. This week we're going to be talking all about law. This week we're going to be talking all about law. This week we're going to be talking all about law. Happy Monday, happy Monday. What's going on, family? Shalom, shalom. Peace to the family. Peace to the family. What's going on? How y'all day going? How y'all day going? Welcome, welcome. Welcome. Alright, so we are live with another episode, DTR 360 Books Podcast, episode 30, with the big bro, Attorney Derek Patterson. Attorney Derek Patterson, that's right, he is a real attorney. He's going to be speaking on the power of law. He's going to be speaking on his experience in the criminal justice system and a whole bunch of other stuff. So definitely, if you're into law or are intrigued about law, definitely stay on the live. I bet it will be useful and informative. And I bet that you will learn something here tonight. I guarantee you that you will learn something here tonight. If you learn anything on my page, just know that you will learn something about law. Peace, my brother. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Thanks for having me. What's up, y'all?
Of course, of course. How you been, beloved?
I'm good. I'm good. Just trying to maintain. That's all. Trying to do what I do.
Yes, sir. I hope I'm not interrupting with your busy schedule that you have.
Nah, I allotted time, to be here with everyone this evening, educate people, let people know about myself, and talk to them, try to answer some questions for them.
Word, indeed, indeed. That's exactly why I invited you on this platform so that we can have a wide variety of information. Because for me, the useful of information is power. So the more information we have, the more we'll be able to navigate through this system that we're in. So let's get started. I'm going to read I'm going to do my intro and then do your intro, and then we're going to get started.
Let's go.
Assalamu alaikum, shalom, shalom, hotep, Islam, alafia. What's going on, family? So you are here with another episode 30 of DTR 360 Books Podcast. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we have a very special guest, an attorney, a young African black brother who will tell us and give us some information, give us some gems as well about law, about the criminal justice system, and ways that we can navigate through this vicious system. So here's a short bio of brother attorney Derek M. Patterson. He was born in Philadelphia. He grew up in West Philadelphia, where he was raised by a family who instilled in him to always be the best. Derek attended the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, where he received his Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice. After excelling at the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, Derek decided to pursue his passion of becoming a trial attorney. Derek always reminded himself that there is no other option but to become a trial attorney. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, please welcome me, Brother Derek Patterson. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? Thanks again for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How you feeling today?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Man, a bit tired, but the show must go on, right?
Tired? Come on,
So,
tired.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do a lot. So I'm a teacher. I'm out in Newark,
Okay.
New Jersey, and then
That's Sussex County.
Essex.
Essex County.
Yeah, Essex. Correct. So I do that, and I'm managing DTR 360 books, so
Okay.
that's a full-time job within itself. So yeah, and then I'm also studying to pass my teacher certificate exam. So yeah, that's
Wish you listen. I wish you the best with that.
yes sir, yes sir. Before I got on the live, actually I went to the post office and I shipped out some book orders. So again, it's never ending, but again the show must go on, and
That's right.
you know somebody's got to do it.
So thanks for having me on here again. I know you gave that quick bio, but I'm just want to share with people a little bit more about myself, if you will allow me to.
Yes sir, and if you can also explain, you know, how you grew up and what was West Philadelphia like.
Right, right. So like I said, attorney Derek Patterson, from West Philadelphia. I have my own law firm here in Philadelphia. It's a primary personal injury practice, but I have done some family law stuff. I've done some criminal law stuff, criminal defense stuff. And pretty much my background is I come from, an inner city. And I know a lot of people say, product your environment, but I didn't want to be that person that they said, you are a product of your environment. You know what I mean?
Right.
They place this label on you, and you think you're just supposed to just be content and just go with it. And I'm like, no, that's not me. Growing up, my grandfather, my father, they had a lot of friends from the neighborhood. They would see me and say, oh, what's going on? They said, listen here, young buck. Like, man, whatever you do, just stay in school. Whatever you do, man. I wish I was your age. I wish I could do it all over. And I took that, I would put that in the back of my head, and I took it and ran with it, because they were telling me these things. I was young, but I was listening. They were telling me these things for a reason, because they had already experienced it. So they would say, if I was young, if I could do it all over again, I could do it. So I said, listen, I'm still young. I'm going to do what I need to do. So listen, if we got any young people out here that's on this live, or anybody got any little cousins, brothers, sisters, just kids in the neighborhood, like, and don't let life put this they try to characterize you or put you in this box and say, hey, you are a product of your environment. This is what you need to do. This is just how life's going to be, because it's not. It's plenty more out in the world that you guys need to explore and venture out and actually see what's going on. And I'm not going to lie. Before I went to law school, really all I really knew was Philadelphia. That's it. That's all I knew was Philadelphia. I went away to law school out in Michigan, and I was starting to get exposed just to people from different environments.
Right.
And then that made me understand my environment, where I came from, a little more, because all I knew was inner city. So I'm going to school people from these, other cities, suburban areas, nicer families. I came from a good family too. We were in the city, but I came from a good family too. But it started making me realize, like, how the world really revolves. And I'm like, damn, like, I'm going to school with people from this area, this background. And, I'm kind of doing what I need to do. I'm in the same classroom with these people. Their parents are millionaires. You know what I mean? I'm in the same classroom with them. So listen, guys, don't let anyone put you in any type of box. Listen, spread your wings and fly. That's one of the things I want to, if y'all don't get anything from this live, do that. Spread your wings and fly.
Yeah, so, I'm pretty sure they'll get more, brother. But
yeah, but I just want to make sure that they get that, though. They get that, get that foundation going. Also, so like I said, that's just where I grew up at. I went to the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore. I pursued my degree in criminal justice. I did fairly well there, in undergrad. I did fairly well. It was like a 3.0 student, 3.1 student. From there, I'm like, all right, cool. I want to go to law school. But what kind of intrigued me to go to law school was I did an internship one summer, the summer right before I graduated undergrad. I did an internship with a criminal defense attorney. And at that point, I was a criminal justice major. So I'm like, oh, cool, I'll go into law enforcement, something like that. You know what I mean? I was like, criminal justice degree, going to law enforcement, I don't know, FBI, DEA, ATF, something along those lines. But when I did this internship with this criminal defense attorney, it changed my whole mindset. Like it just, and like in one day, it just like flipped, because I'm in the criminal justice center here in Philadelphia. And I'm walking through the hallways. I'm going into different courtrooms with this attorney who I was interning with. And I'm like, wait, what's going on here? And what I saw was everyone who had a court date looked like me.
Right.
and everyone who was on that witness stand testifying against them was of another shade. And I'm like,
wow,
shoot, hold on. Like, I need to be helping my people. So I said, you know what? I'm going to law school.
Wow.
Like just in that, and I was 21 in that instant. I'm like, nah, I don't know if I want to go that law enforcement route.
Yeah, I want you to elaborate on that situation. So going into that courtroom, you seen that you know, the brothers, sisters, people who look like you had trial, had court dates,
right?
And the people who were on trial, judges, didn't look like you. How did that play in your mind? Like, I know you said, like, damn, I gotta help my people, but what other thoughts were running through your mind during that situation?
So like I said, I wanted to help my people, but I was thinking like, I can't. In that moment, I'm like, I can't do this. I can't. And I'm glad that I got a chance to see it and catch it early,
right?
Before I continue to pursue it. Now, there's nothing wrong with being in law enforcement, no. But what I saw in that moment was not what I wanted to do. I did not want to. I wanted to help my people instead of put them in jails. I mean, look at the incarceration rate for our people, for African Americans. I mean, I didn't want to do that to them. I wanted to help us the best way I could. So I said, listen, right now I feel as though the best way to help us, let me go to law school and see if I can help my people. See if I can educate my people.
Right. Cool. So speaking of law school, speaking of going to law school and getting a law degree and so forth, take us through that experience. How was law school? Was it hard? Was it difficult? Obviously, it was a lot of money. Like, take us through that situation.
I'm gonna give you the whole spill, right? So going into law school, like I said, I had a 3.0, 3.1 GPA in college, right? I got all A's and B's, you know, elementary school, middle school, high school, college. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, it's cool. Like, I'm smart. I don't know, you know, I know how to handle myself in the classroom, you know. And when I got to law school, listen, I got slapped in my face. But it was my will to win. That's what really got me through. Because at that point, I noticed, I said, oh, I'm not the smartest guy in the room no more. But most people did, they quit. They gave up. When law school got too hard for them, they came up with some sort of excuse and they left. They went home. I mean, one time I sat with one of my professors. I was going over, we had an exam. I was going over my exam. And the professor was like, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? I said, listen here. I said, I don't need to do that. I said, I know how to read. I just need to know how to interpret this stuff. And I told her, I said, listen, I said, Professor, I'm not going back to Philadelphia without this law degree. I remember I sat there in her office. I'm not going back to Philadelphia without this law degree. And that was my motivation. So, like I said, it was a slap in the face, because where I was used to just, you know, reading a few pages, it would take me like this. I would sit there and the professor would say, you know, read these 50 pages, be ready for class the next time. It probably would take me 2 to 3 hours just to read those 50 pages, because my mind wasn't trained for that level of learning.
Right, and jogging and language as well. It's a totally different language.
I could not grasp it at that point. I would even ask some of my friends after class, I'm like, did you understand what they were saying? It was like, yeah. I'm like, how did you understand? Like, if people knew me, they knew I was like, I lived in a library, because I had to put that extra time and that extra work in to be able to understand these concepts. Other than that, I was going to flunk out and be sent home. But at that point, I said, I'm not going home without this law degree. And my will to win is what really got me through. Now, I had a great group of friends out there, great group of guys, and we're still pretty tight nowadays. About 5 of us, we're still pretty tight nowadays. You know, if it was something that one didn't know and the other knew, then we would kind of help each other out. You know, we hung out a lot. We had a little flag football team. So, you know, I thank them guys all the time for being there for me. And we were just kind of there for each other. And what else did you, I think you just had a question for me. Another question, didn't you?
For law school, like, was it hard? Was it difficult? And yeah,
I got you. I kind of got into I got where you're going. So like I said, my mind wasn't trained for that level of learning. So I had to keep pushing, keep grinding, keep pushing, keep grinding. I mean, at one point, my grades were to the level where it's like, yo, like, you don't get it together next semester, you out.
Wow.
You know what I did? I went down to the basement of the library and locked in. I'm
Mm.
talking about locked in because I didn't have no choice.
Mm.
I wasn't going home without that law degree, because you know one thing, and it's crazy that society does this to you, or communities, environments does this to you, right? So when you go to law school and you don't make it, you don't graduate, they want to label you as a failure. They don't even look at the fact that you even made it to law school.
Right.
They want to look at you as a failure because you didn't make it. Now, once you graduate, oh wow, great, great, great. But they don't even look at what it took to even get to that level. But
Exactly.
just because you didn't surpass that level, you're just a failure.
Right. Because in order to get into law school, you have to pass the LSAT.
LSAT.
So
LSAT.
what was that situation? You have to study for that. You have to be disciplined for that. So what was that situation like? For getting law school, you have to really be disciplined and pass the LSAT, which is a difficult exam within itself.
That's so that's what kind of like that was my first little slap in the face. That was just a slap on the wrist, wasn't really slap in the face. That was just a little slap on the wrist because I mean the people who I took an LSAT prep class. I mean, the people who were in my LSAT prep class were going to schools like Stanford, NYU. They were going to schools like that for undergrad, and they were just like say like just picking up, and it's like it's basic logic, which I could get through, but like I mean the rate that they were like learning this stuff and they were grasping this stuff was like, I'm like, wow, like how y'all understanding this stuff just like that? And to some people it can be intimidating. It really can. Like you really have to be like a strong person to be able to get through that, especially being a young African American, where they it really, society really don't want us to succeed. Society don't want us to have the education, and nowadays we're getting education. I mean, with social media and everything like that, we're getting education. So the LSAT was difficult. It was. My score wasn't that great. But let me just tell you a little bit about my journey. My score wasn't that great. So the law school that I went to, I had to do a like a conditional program, right? Conditional program. And if you, depending on how you did in a conditional program, that was contingent upon your acceptance to the law school that I went to.
Okay. So it was like a prerequisite.
In a sense, yeah. I got accepted through that program, but when I got out to that program, I'm like, listen, this is the only school that even responded to my application.
Yeah.
So
better take it.
I didn't have no choice.
Right.
Like when you're given that small window of opportunity,
you're given a chance. Yeah.
You better get your way. You better slither through it like a snake. Get your way through there. I'm telling you. So I passed. I got through the conditional program. Got into law school. And when I first got to law school, like it'll be times I would wake up in the morning and be like, "Damn, I'm in law school." Because I mean, growing up, nobody from my neighborhood went to law school. I didn't know any lawyers growing up.
Right.
Like, I mean, everybody pretty much came from like working class families. I mean, if one of your friends' dad was a cop or maybe a firefighter or something like that, it's like, oh wow, like yo, like that, But I didn't know anyone who was a lawyer, went to law school. So to me, it was kind of shocking to me that like, damn, like yo, like I can really do this thing here. Like I just got to keep applying pressure, and I can really do this.
Right.
So got into law school, and like I told you how it was for me before, and I eventually graduated on time. The amount of time I was supposed to graduate, I didn't take any extra semesters, but I had to put that extra work in. I had to put that extra grind in. Where it would take somebody be in the library for 4 hours, I'll have to be in the library for 8 hours. But it was just what I was willing to do to win.
Right.
I was willing, whatever it took for me to be successful, whatever it took for me to get out of law school, graduate law school, I did it. All right. Passed. I get out of law school. Now you got bar exam. Listen, it's hurdles. It's hurdles. But if
it ain't one thing, it's another.
It's hurdles. But you got to be ready. You got to be willing to put that small time sacrifice for that long term reward.
Right.
Like you got to know that there's some light at the end of this tunnel, but you just got to be willing to keep digging, keep fighting, keep digging, keep fighting, and eventually you're gonna make your way out of it. We got the bar exam, right?
Yeah.
Study for that. Now, mind you, this is law school combined in one, and it's all in one test. This is 3 years. This is all everything you learned in law school, basically, boom, right here in one exam. So I get to that, and I'm studying for that. I'm like, how the hell did I pass law school? How did I pass law school? And this stuff right here, I'm like, did they teach us this?
It's different.
It was a whole nother hype. So I had to get through LSAT, get through law school. Now I'm getting ready for bar exam, right? And I'm like, damn, all right, bar exam. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't successful first time I took the bar exam. I mean, you want me to be transparent here? I wasn't. Right. But it took every time I took it, it took for me to like, okay, cool. I gotta buckle down even more. I gotta buckle down even more. I gotta buckle down even more. Now listen, when I passed it, when I scrolled through it online and I saw my name, I saw like every time I looked, I would see Patel, and I wouldn't see Patterson. Damn. Patel, and I'm not being racist or anything like that. I was just they P-A-T-E, I'm P-A-T-T, right? You know what I mean? But you know, Patel, no Patterson. Damn. When I saw my name, I sat there and I looked at the screen. I cried, like I cried.
Could you believe it at first?
No, I X'd out and came back. I said,
Wow.
Let me make sure.
Get out of here.
I X'd out, logged back in. Derek M. Patterson was right there. I said, yes, I did it. And I was on the couch. And actually, I just woke up from a nap. I tapped my wife. I said, look, I showed her my phone. She just gave me a big hug, and I just sat there and cried. Like, because like the weight of everything that was on me, I feel like had just got lifted off me. Because everything that I fought for, I accomplished it. Everything that I wanted, I got. Because I like I said, I had that will to win, and I was not going to settle for anything less. My grandfather, before he passed, I was in 8th grade before he passed. He used to always tell me, he was a science teacher. He used to always tell me, he said, listen, don't settle for anything less than the best. That's what he I mean, I was a kid. He told me, he said, never settle for anything less than the best.
Wow.
And I never settled. I couldn't settle. You know, I got through law school. I had to take the bar a few times, and I finally passed it. And I mean, it was a great feeling, a great feeling.
So you mentioned your wife. Congratulations! I didn't know you were married.
Yeah.
What role did your wife play in you passing the LSAT, going through law school, and passing the bar?
Listen, it's
if any.
As males, we have egos, right? We have egos. I can do it myself. I'm good. I'm good. Listen. A strong woman behind you will help you a lot. They will. Like
in what ways?
Telling you, huh?
In what ways?
So just that support system, that extra push. Because there'll be times where like, I don't feel like studying. It's like, no, you need to go study. Even nowadays, I'd be like, man, I don't feel like doing no more work tonight. It's like, no, you need to go in there and work on some cases. So just having that support system behind you, that extra motivation when you don't feel like pushing yourself, like she's there for me. There'll be times where like I'm trying to come up with new ideas. I'm trying to think of things, and she'll be like, "What about this? What about this?" And sometimes I get mad. I'm like, "Oh, leave me alone." Like, you know what I mean? But when I take a step back and I think about it, I'm like, "Damn, like she right." Like she right. So it's having that support system behind you is phenomenal.
Right. Phenomenal. Oh man. Wonderful. Because some people don't have that, you know.
They don't.
They're just going.
And listen, y'all. It's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with having a woman behind you. Us as males, we think we have these egos. Nah, I don't need. Listen, they are good with things that we aren't as males. And it's nothing. Listen, it's nothing wrong with it. I mean, if she's your other half, why don't y'all just join together and rise together?
Right, right, indeed, indeed. So you're an injury lawyer
Right.
at the moment,
So
correct?
so right now I do personal injury. I did some criminal defense for a little bit, but then I hopped into the personal injury game, and then I kind of just went with it from there.
Okay. So why'd you make that switch from defense criminal attorney to injury attorney?
So I switched. It wasn't wholeheartedly like, I'm done with this. I was doing. I first got a law school. I was like, criminal defense, criminal defense, criminal defense. I was working at a personal injury firm. I kind of learned that game. And I was like, nah, you know what? So let me tell you this. So I was working at a personal injury firm, right? And this is crazy. Here, let me tell you this part, right?
Mhm.
Working at a personal injury firm, I passed the bar while working at the firm.
Okay.
I go to the owner of the firm, like, yo, I passed the bar. What's up? Like I'm an attorney right now. What's up? Oh, I don't really have time to, train you, and it's just a lot. Mind you, I mean, this was a nice size firm. It had 150 employees, probably 20 attorneys. Like, I wasn't even asking for any more money. I just said, hey, I'm a licensed attorney now. Let me do something other than what I'm doing.
Okay.
No, so I was like, all right, cool. He don't want to hire me. He don't want to hire me as an attorney. They wanted me to stay. They just, like I said, they want to keep you in this box.
Right.
So I stayed there for a few more months. I said, you know what? I'm not going to grow here. There's no growth for me. For me, it may be growth for other people. Ain't no growth for me here. They don't want us to win, right? Ain't no growth for me here. I left. I said, I'm gonna do my own thing. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out.
Right.
Do my own thing. Went over to the criminal justice building, just walking around. I didn't have a plan. I didn't. That's nothing, guys. If you when you get out here, have a plan.
Right.
You gotta have. I didn't have a plan. I just went out there, just jumped, no parachute, just jump.
Mm.
Right. I walked around criminal justice. It didn't. I wasn't getting any clients. I linked up with a guy who did have a practice. He's like, yo, like you can kind of come, come work under me. I'm like, all right, cool. Started getting a little bit of experience in the courtroom. And listen, he was running me ragged. He was running me ragged. But at the time, I'm like, listen, I'm willing to learn.
Right.
But listen, I was running ragged, right? So I'm like, all right, you know what? I wasn't making the money that I still had to help support my family. I was running ragged. I wasn't getting much money. I was like, my wife looking at me like, yo, listen, like I get it. Yeah, I get it. You wanted to go on your own, but like we got to figure something out here. And listen, and I had to humble back up. All right, cool. I had to go back and get a job.
Okay.
Like a job. Like I was helping this guy out, but I had to go back and get a job.
Because it wasn't enough.
A salary. It wasn't enough what I was bringing.
Right.
It wasn't. But it's cool to hit the reset button. That's what people don't realize. It's cool to hit the reset button because you'll learn on the mistakes you made. Right? I didn't have a plan. The next time I jumped out, I said, listen, I'm gonna have a plan. Before I started the firm that I got now, it took me a good 8 to 10 months to really get the structure together that I really wanted to put together. Last time I just jumped out there with no plan. So I learned from my mistakes. So I went back, got a job. That was actually with a personal injury firm because I had some personal injury experience. That was a personal injury firm. I'm talking about I got hell of experience there. Hell of experience. Like, I mean, I was in court every day. Got tons of experience. Left there, went to go work for an insurance company on the defense side because I'm like, all right, cool. If I'm on the plaintiff side, basically the people that's suing, let me see if I can learn this thing full circle.
Right.
Went work for an insurance company for about 2 years. Right. I'm talking about now. That's where I learned how to run a firm. Like I learned how to actually be a successful attorney there because of the systems that they had in place. Right. And I seen what they wanted their attorneys to do and how their attorneys operated. Right. At the last firm, I got a hell of experience. The firm I was telling you about, I got a hell of experience. I was just running around. I was always in court. When I got with the insurance company, I actually learned how to be a successful attorney and learn how to run a law firm because you got to figure this law firm was backed by the insurance company. Like they have to have systems in place to be successful, right? So I pretty much took every good thing from everywhere I was, right? I'm at the insurance defense firm. Like, you know what? I'm ready to go ahead and jump out and do my own thing now. Like I I think I got it. Like I said, I was taking everything from every firm. I was every good thing that they had going on. I took it. Said, I'm ready to jump out on my own. Jumped out on my own. Like I said, I didn't do it right away. As soon as I came with that idea, I didn't do it right away because I needed a plan. Listen, when you guys when you have a business, you have to have a plan, huh?
And experience as well.
Exactly. That was another thing. I wanted to make sure I had the experience too. So you got to have a plan. You got to have some sort of structure, and I had the experience. I said, you know what? I'm ready. Like, let's go.
Right.
Opened up my firm, and listen, it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing ever since.
Congratulations on that, brother.
Yeah, thanks.
Congratulations. I mean, because I don't know too many of, young African Black brothers who have their own law firm, much less their business. So we talk about
what's
law
funny?
firm, which is another level of business.
You know what's funny? So I'll be I'll be on Instagram and I'll be talking to people, like people who might do some promotion for me or something like that. They'll say what's the name of your firm? What's the name of the firm you work for? I said, no, like it's mine. What's the name of what's the name of the firm I work for? No, this is my firm here. Wow. Like this is my last name on this firm. Check my last name. This is my firm here.
Right.
So like you don't see many of us. And that was something that I was like, listen, I'm gonna change the narrative. Not saying that we're not out there. It's not many of us though.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And we gotta. Society has kind of trained us to just be like, go to school, go work for somebody, right? And it's like, no, you don't, because people don't realize the same thing you're doing for these jobs is nothing wrong with the job. The same thing in these jobs. You can put the same time and energy into your own business. Yeah. People don't realize how much they know and what their worth is, because they're just content. They just stay where they are. So like I said, I kind of wanted to change the narrative and show people like, listen, you can have a young African American attorney run his own firm, and I could be just successful as them other firms.
Right. Exactly. So let's talk about law. Talk about law. You have your own law firm. What is law? Let's just start there.
So I see my definition of law is a body of rules that a community follows or community, kind of abides by. It's a body of rules that the community abides by. I mean, some people have different definitions of law.
So it's subjective.
Yeah, basically. Some people use law in different ways. People run from the cops. Oh, he running from the law. Like, I mean, they're the police, but I even heard Yo Gotti say in the song, like, that's law. Like these just the rules of the streets. That's law.
Right. Cool. Are there any transferable skills? Obviously, there are some that you've learned through working with the insurance company, working as a defense attorney. You can name about 2 to 3 transferable skills that you have transferred over to your own law firm.
So the skills that I've learned, or some of the things that I took, is marketing, right? I worked at a firm where they did a ton of marketing. I mean, and they would bring in a ton of cases, anywhere from 100 to 150 cases a month, right? So I'm like, okay, cool, marketing, because if they don't know you, how are they going to support you, right? I know you've been following me on Instagram for not too long, but a little bit long enough. You can see, like, I'm always posting, like, that's just so I can always be fresh on people's timeline, always posting on stories, things like that, because it's all marketing, it's all promotion.
Are you only on Instagram?
So I have Facebook and I have TikTok, but my primary social media platform is Instagram.
Okay.
That's my primary social media platform. So one thing is like marketing. I mean, another thing is just learning the law.
Right.
I mean, like we have tests such as LSAT and the BAR exam. I mean, we have books. None of that stuff truly prepares you to practice law as much as actually practicing law.
Right. For me, it's a balance. For me, it's a balance, because you need the application in theory. You just can't have the theory books and so forth. You just can't have the application just applying yourself. You need both. Application and theory goes hand in hand.
Right. And let me say one way that I feel like I have an upper hand, right? Just being from the inner city, a lot of the people that I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis are from where I'm from, or the type of neighbors that I'm from, right? So if I'll go to court and just say I'm going up against, you know, this other attorney and their client, right? There are certain things that I know and I understand just because I'm from like the inner city, and I know how people operate in these neighborhoods. So I'll be talking to another attorney and I'll say, like, look at this situation here. Like, look at what's going on. They're doing this, and they'll say, wait, wow, I never thought of that. Right. It's logical. And you never thought of that because you don't know. You know, you got all the books. You got all the book smart. But when you just come down just everyday logic, you don't know how these people are. You're not from the background these people are from. So so I got the book piece, but I also I know how these people operate. So I kind of have an upper hand just because of where I'm from. You know, and so a lot of people may look at like inner cities. No, like the inner cities, like as they say, the hood is a gem. It is. I'm sorry. It's a freaking gem. And people don't understand that. So I say first thing I take is marketing. Second thing I take from it is just the law. And the third thing I take from it, I would have to say systems. Having the systems in place for your firm, because I've seen firms where they didn't have a system, and I'm talking about haywire.
Systems such as
from your client intake. When a client first calls, what's the process when a client first calls? After the client calls, then what do you do? Do you pass it on to your paralegal? What are your operating procedures for your paralegal? What happens when the case is over with? What happens when a client calls with an issue? These are the things you need to have in place so your firm runs smoothly. And when your firm runs smoothly, you're more than likely to keep your staff. Your staff is happy, they're more than likely to stay. When your staff is not happy, it's high turnaround. If you ever see firms that have high turnaround, the staff isn't happy. There's no systems in place. They're not treating the staff properly. So you have to appreciate your staff. People don't realize, yes, we are the attorneys, but yo, the paralegals, they do a hell of a job.
Of course.
Our support staff do a hell of a job, and I don't take them for granted. And what I tell people a lot of times is, listen, I'm the attorney. I know what I know, but listen, you're my paralegal. You're the expert in that. I'm not better than you. You're a master at what you do. I'm a master at what you do and what I do. You as the secretary or the admin, you're a master at what you do, right? So let's collaborate. No one's better than no one. Everyone's just a master in their own lane. Let's come together and make this thing successful.
Right. So give us a rundown on what your day is like.
All right, my day, I get up in the morning. I have this thing now where I'm up at 5 o'clock. I like to exercise, I like to work out. My wife said, she said, listen, if you don't work out at 5 in the morning, you ain't no working out, because you work out in the middle of the day, your day is pretty much shot. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to jump back into it. So I'm up at 5, work out, finish working out, eat, get myself ready for court. If I have court, sometimes I may have an office day, get the kids ready for school, drop them off. Then, my day starts. Today I had court this morning. Then once I got out of court, I had to do a few little errands. Then once I finished the errands, I was back in the office, getting back to it.
Right. So,
but I have some nights where, I might not be done till 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Right. Wow. So do you think the law system is fair and just?
No, it's not.
So,
and let me just give like more situational stuff, right? There'll be situations where justice is not served when it should have been, and there's been situations where justice, I'm not gonna say justice has been served, but like justice was served where it shouldn't have been. You see what I'm saying? So, for example, you may have someone who, I don't know, robbed a bank, right? and they may get, I don't know, 7 years, right? And you'll have someone who just got caught with a firearm and they gave them 10 years. It's like, well, yo, this dude just robbed this bank. You gave him 7 years, but this man got caught with a gun. You gave him 10 years. Now I get it. I get, they try to have more harsher penalties for guns and things like that. But no, I don't think the law is fair and just. And I mean, especially after the George Floyd situation, I get that everyone is trying to come, reform and change the laws and things like that. But it's not going to happen. It's not. I mean,
do you think that's one of the key ways to reforming the justice system is changing the policies and laws that's in place at the moment?
Of course. But is it? No, it's not. It's not going to change. Because I mean, you have your two sides. I mean, you got your Republicans, you got your Democrats. No, it's not going to change. I think the primary laws that are in place right now, they're not going anywhere. They're just here to stay. So it's going to be an unfair justice system, honestly, until we die. And that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that, I mean, I don't want to.
My man said the wrong people in charge of the justice system. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to sound. I mean, I'm very optimistic, so I think we can definitely change the system, but it's going to take one people in place that care about us, truly care about us, speaking truth to power, and having enough power to change within the system. So
Right.
we need both. We need people to be in the system, and then at the same time, we need people like you to have our own law firm and doing our own thing. So it's like we have a nation inside of a nation, right? Within a nation, and then eventually becoming strong enough to overturn and overpower that nation, so that we can live the lives that we want to live and live the lives how we want to live it.
Well, you know one thing where and I'm glad you said it to make me strike a light bulb. There's not enough education on this stuff.
Yep.
So, it's not.
Right.
I mean, the law is there. It's not enough education. There's not enough people to educate people on these things.
So it's like, why do you think, like, because I'm very intrigued in law. When I had my undergrad, and I actually went to a law summer school program type thing at St. John's University in Queens, New York. And then while I was in undergrad, I remember taking this law class. I got like an A in it.
Okay.
I was just always intrigued in it. But for me personally, and that's why I commend you, because you kept going. I was just always fearful of, what if I don't make it, or what if I don't pass? What if I spend all this money and I don't make it, and so forth? So I just took a different route. But why do you think, like, our people are sort of fearful of learning about the law?
I don't even think people are fearful about learning, but I think it comes down to the resources and having the ability to learn and just know where to get the resources from. I mean, you got to figure, like I said, the people that I went to law school with, right? I mean, not that they had the resource to the law, but they had the resources to be able to train their minds to be able to learn the law like this, right? Whereas though you may have people from inner cities, our minds aren't trained to learn the law like this, right? So that's why we have to come in and help and educate and train our people so it's not difficult for them to learn or understand the law. Like a lot of people, they think they know the law, but they really don't. And a lot of people, they like it's off of emotions. Matter of fact, I did a video the other day. I'm like, listen, the law is not based off emotions. The law is the law. This is what it is. You know what I mean? So I think it all boils down to education and people just having the resources to know what's going on.
Yes, indeed. And this is why, again, I brought you on, so that we can be educated on law, and, you know, have the resources. Are there some resources that you can give to the listeners here today?
So, and this is not to be smart. Listen, Google. I mean, it's in the palm of our hands. We pick up our cell phone every day. Everyone on this
Yeah,
live has their
I
cell
mean,
phone in their hand.
yeah,
Google.
that's easier said than done.
But
What to Google,
right.
like,
Right.
as
So
far
I just
as,
wanted to start there with your phone. Google. Right. If if you have an issue, so what I want people to start with, especially with the criminal justice system, start with Fourth Amendment. Right. Your right to searches, the right to searches and seizures. Start with the Fourth Amendment. I'm telling you guys, that will alleviate a lot of the problems that are going on out here, because what's happening is we're driving these cars, we're walking down the street, and the cops are stopping us, and we don't know. We learned that everything was going on social media, right? Oh, you pulled me over. Why you need to know my name? Why you pulling me over? No, you can't go on my, like. Listen, Google Fourth Amendment. Fourth Amendment, your right to searches and seizures. Okay, please, everyone, just Google that. Right. Then you have your Fifth Amendment Miranda rights. Right, where the officers, they have to Mirandize you before they start asking you questions related to the crime that you're allegedly being the crime
yeah,
that you're being alleged of doing.
they
Like,
don't read you your Miranda rights anymore, though.
huh?
They don't, the police officer doesn't read you
Oh,
your Miranda rights anymore.
I know, but I'm just trying to get people to just some sort of foundation.
Yes, sir.
Whereas though, you know, just read those things, so at least you'll know something.
Yes,
And
sir.
stop listening to what's going on social media. Y'all think y'all learn everything off social media and these TikToks? No, like, pick up a book and read it yourself, guys. I'm telling you,
Right.
education is there. We
Yeah.
have the resources. We just need to utilize the resources that we have.
Yes, people who are on my platform, they know that I preach that every day. You know, education, read, study, and also apply, because we can have all the information and resources, but it's not going to do anything for us if we don't apply the knowledge that we've just learned. So, true knowledge. Applied knowledge is true power. That's, you know, that's what we always preach and say on our platform. Also, the Sixth Amendment, right to counsel. A lot of people want to, you know, feel like they're Afina Shakur, right? Those who know her journey, she counseled herself during the Panther 21 in the 70s, and she won that case while pregnant with Tupac Shakur. But you have a Sixth Amendment for a reason, so use it to your advantage if you choose to do so. Yeah, but I kind of get it, because the public defenders are trash, to be honest. They serve no purpose and they serve no good. So
Well,
it's like, listen,
let me just defend them for 1 second. Let me just defend them
what
for
are you was a public defender?
No. I was never a
Oh,
public
okay.
defender. I was never a public defender. But they're good. They're just so overworked and underpaid. If you were to cut their caseload down to just 25% of the case that they have, I guarantee they could be phenomenal. But who are they paid by? Who pays public defenders?
Us, the taxpayers.
Right. Who pays the district attorneys?
Us, the taxpayers.
They're paid from the same. The money comes from the same pot. Who controls it? You think the government controls it, right? So it comes from the same. So these public defenders, they're kind of under the gun. Like, listen, y'all not taking every case to trial. No, y'all plea. They have the counsel. Y'all plea them out. Get these cases moving. I had a actually guy I interned with. He worked at the public defender's office, right? When he was back 30 years ago. They fired him because he cared too much. He wasn't moving the cases along like they wanted him to move the cases along. So just look at who pays them. They come from the same pot. The money comes from the same pot. So the people that have control over who's paying these public defenders, yeah, they're gonna tell them what to do. Is the justice system fair? I mean, look at that portion of it right there.
Right. So yeah, if you care so much, you know, start your own law firm.
And that's what he
Like,
did. He started his own firm.
and keep going. Yeah, and keep going. But I commend him for even trying, because, as you said earlier, some people are just content. Like, forget it. I'm getting paid. Listen, man, just plead guilty and keep it moving.
Right.
But he's like, nah, we actually going to fight this thing. Forget what they're saying. I know you're not guilty. Let's go to trial and fight this thing.
And listen, that's rough when you, if you care, that's rough to represent people. And once court is over, they're going to the back in cuffs, and you walking out the front door of the courthouse going home to your family. You know what I mean? That's rough. Like you gotta be ready to endure that. But some people, like say, some attorneys don't care, and they just like, yo, I you know, I got paid $5,000, I got paid $10,000 for this. Like, I'm out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
So, what do you think of criminal prosecutors? I know you was a defense attorney. What do you think of criminal prosecutors?
if they have a job. I mean, they have a job to prosecute people. Now, even with that, right? You have a lot of people who are I'm talking about Philadelphia here. You have, and I'm sure it's probably the same for New York. You have a lot of people who are prosecutors. They're fresh out of law school. They're not from they're not from the inner city, not from Philadelphia, so they don't understand. All they know is what they see on the news, right? So you turn on the news at night, you know, up in Newark, and the first 15 minutes is all shootings and killings and robberies, right? So that's all they know. So they feel like, hey, I'm coming down to do my job. I'm serving justice. I'm putting these people in jail. But no, you don't know nothing about these people, right? You don't know where they come from. You don't know their background. You don't know what type of hardship they came through. And like, for you to just be ready to throw away the keys for every little case, like let's talk here. You know what I mean? Like, so, and I think Philadelphia's getting better. We're trying to have these programs. I know that the head district attorney here in Philadelphia, he was a former defense counsel, but he's trying to come up with all these programs, you know, to kind of to try to lessen less serious offenses. And they just give him they give him a hard way to go. They're trying to get him out of there quick.
Wow.
But he's trying to say, like, listen, all these non-violent offenses don't need to be prosecuted as harsh as they're being prosecuted. So to answer your question, what I think about the district attorney, a lot of the district attorneys, they're fresh out of law school. They don't know much. They're not from the inner cities. All they know is just, my job is to prosecute, and that's just what I'm going to do because I'm serving justice here.
They think that's serving justice by putting people in jail for no reason.
Well, yeah, because they don't. That's what they're told to do. That's what they're paid to do. I mean, someone has to do it. I get it. We get it. Someone has to do it. But I think a lot of times they don't. They just see what's in front of them. Oh, robbery, firearm, and they're just like, whoa, this guy got caught with a gun in a robbery, and the situation won't even be as serious as they made it seem. Oh, assault. He assaulted someone. He assaulted an officer. He did not assault an officer. He pulled his arm away from the officer and tried to arrest him. How the hell is that assault?
Right.
Like, you see what I'm saying?
Right. Crazy. So what's next for you and your firm, brother?
So, like I said, I mean, like, I know some criminal defense stuff. I do some family law every now and then. But the next big thing for my firm is I'm just keep pushing forward, keep marketing, keep promote myself, trying to help people as much as I can. My whole campaign now for my firm is, and what we talk about, is educate my people on what's going on. Like I said, I have a personal injury firm, and I'm sure you see it up there in Newark, up North Jersey. A lot of these firms, they're just saying, hire me. If you're in an accident, hire me. And then they get the clients, they go through the process, and like the clients don't know what the hell is going on. Right? I even have people who reach out to me now. I'll be like, yeah, you know, I got a lawyer. I'm like, okay, well, you know, this should be going on. They were like, I didn't know that. Like, nobody ever told me that. So my campaign now, probably for the next year, is to educate. So if you start following me on Instagram, you'll start to see the videos I post. Yeah, I'll post some actions, but if you see me talking, it's going to be me educating the followers, educating the people, mainly my inner city people, on just the process and what to look for when you're dealing with a personal injury case. You know, how, you know, the things you need to do, the steps you need to take while you're in this case, because a lot of people, we don't know. Like, a lot of them will get a check, And if I got a check for such, like, well, did you get the breakdown of your check? Do you know why you went home? No, I don't know. They just said this is what I go home with. I feel like they burnt me. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's my next game is educate, educate, educate. Also while while scaling and getting more clients.
Indeed. All right, cool. So give us a couple gems on the law and the justice system, something that the average person may not know.
I'm just gonna piggyback. I mean, we talked about a lot of things in this last hour. I'm just gonna piggyback on some of the things. One of the things I wanted people to know, like Fourth Amendment. Fourth Amendment is huge, guys. Please, if anyone gets a chance to sit down and I mean, just Google Fourth Amendment rights, Fourth Amendment search and seizures. I mean, you're gonna have a ton of articles coming up because this right here is pretty much the start. I mean, people are arrested. You know, they have Fourth Amendment. This is the start to a lot of people's criminal path. That it hurts them because they don't know their rights in the beginning. So I challenge everyone to go read just about the Fourth Amendment in the criminal justice system. Also, any of my entrepreneurs out there, anybody looking to be an entrepreneur, always keep fighting. Like never get content. Never get content with anything you do. You have a job, and I tell people all the time. I say a job. Don't look at a job as a job. Right? Listen to it. Look at a job as a paid internship. These people are paying you. Like we went to school, right? You went to St. John's, I went to Ministry. We went to school, right? You paid for your education, right?
Yeah.
You paid. Now we're out in the world. These people are paying us. And if you execute it properly, these people are paying us. We're learning while we're at work, and we're getting paid to learn now. So take everything you can from your job and implement it. Eventually, one day you'll probably be able to open your own business, or you may be able to move up in the rankings. Right. The last thing I say is to all my people out there who think about becoming attorneys or something in the education field, just keep pushing forward. Listen, keep pushing forward. I'm the product of someone who didn't settle. I didn't settle. I didn't do that well in the LSAT. I kept pushing forward. I did that that conditional program. I got through that. Went through law school. I struggled. Got through that. Took the bar. Had to take it a few times. Got through that. Even when I became an attorney, I didn't go to a top ranked law school. Right? No one was knocking on my door to hire me.
Wow.
And I knew that. Nobody was knocking on my door to hire me. I had to take lesser paying jobs just as an attorney, just so I could learn. Right.
That's the key.
Keep pushing forward. Nobody. Right. I didn't go to Harvard Law. I didn't go to Yale Law or even NYU Law. I didn't. Nobody was knocking on my door. So what I had to do, I had to figure it out. I had to keep pushing forward. So I say that to everyone who's in school or plans on going to school. Listen, you can do it. Trust me.
Right. Believe in yourself. Keep pushing forward.
Right.
And never give up.
You can't
give up. So that's the thing that kind of like divides us, meaning, people of African descent, Europeans, quote unquote, white people, is information and obviously wealth. But because they have the information, they have the wealth. You feel me?
My man says information changes situations.
Right, indeed, right, and I was going to say that information changes the conversation as well, because if you don't have, like how I have, not as much as you, but I have some information on law, we can have a law conversation. You know what I'm saying? And we've had just a little bit, but offline I can even go more in depth, but because I have some level of information on law. But us as people of African descent, we don't have enough information to even change the conversation. If we get into a room of entrepreneurs, if you get into the room of lawyers, we want to know what to say. We want to know how to how to be in a conversation of lawyers, or how to be in a conversation of business or so forth, because we lack the information. And because we lack the information, we don't read. we don't read to get the information, right? So that's very
I
that's
see some.
very
I see
true.
some in the comments. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm gonna address it. But go ahead.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. It says speak on how millions of people don't prefer black attorneys.
Okay.
I want to. I do want to speak on that. And I don't know why, right? But I will say this: a lot of people, they automatically assume if you go get, you know, the attorney, the Caucasian attorney or the Jewish attorney, you're automatically going to win. That's just what people think,
Wow.
right? So me being an African American attorney, right, I have to fight 10 times harder, right? Just to get people to believe like, no, like you're making the right choice by choosing me as an African American attorney, right? I mean, if you to put, and let's be honest here, if you to put me in a room with 5 other attorneys and I'm the only African American, they're gonna say, yo, pick your attorney. Who you think people more likely gonna pick? Someone else,
Right.
right? So me being, I have to fight so much harder, right? But the thing is, once people get an African American attorney, they hold us to a standard so much higher than they hold other attorneys. Why? Why is that? Right? You expect so much of me. You expect this so much of me, right? But then you view me as being way down here. This is how you view me. But you expect this much of me.
And
But
so it's like they're just waiting for you to mess up to say, see,
it's the
see,
total opposite.
I tried to give you a chance and you blew it.
But it's the total opposite with other attorneys, right? Like you'll hold them to the standard way down here, like, oh, you know, I got this attorney here, you know, I got this guy such and such and such and such and such, right? And then like they view them, they put them on this high pedestal. Oh, who your attorney? Oh, I have Cerizio, Capizio, and Gramo, right? And it's like, oh yeah, you got them. And them dudes they ain't doing nothing much, they ain't doing nothing different than I'm doing. Right. But then I gotta make sure my customer service is on point. You know, I gotta make sure I'm always making calls. You know, my letterhead, I'm sending letters, I'm making calls. Like it's so many things, so many more things that I have to do as an African American attorney because they view us so much on a lower scale than they view these other attorneys.
Wow. Wow. And one more question because I know we gotta get up out of here.
Yeah, I smell the dinner cooking. I smell it. I'm in my home office. I smell the dinner cooking in there in the kitchen.
Right, right. So during your journey, have you ever experienced discrimination or racism?
That's a good question. I I I have not, and if I have, I didn't know that it was going on. I didn't. When you know me as an attorney, I try to keep things pretty neutral and try not to get all caught up in the whole
Race thing?
race thing. I try not to. I just try to maintain just a level of professionalism and not get caught up in all that. So if I have, I didn't I didn't see it or notice it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay, yeah, yeah. It was just something that I thought I should ask, you know.
Yeah.
Definitely. So even like getting like your own law firm, you didn't come
You know
stumble
what?
upon any
You know
hurdles.
what?
So,
Let me back up. Let me back up. Let me back up.
yes,
Because
sir.
I was just thinking from attorney to attorney. Let me back up. Right. One time I was heading to a deposition. Right. I was representing the client. I was heading to a deposition, and I go into the building, and it's me. My client was with me. It was me. The attorney's office up on some floor. I was downtown. It was me and the stenographer. You know, the lady who types up everything, and she was going to the same law firm on the same case. All right. So I go in, I tell my name, hey, you know, Derek Patterson here. I'm going up to such and such firm. She's like, oh, okay, I'm going to that firm too. And I'm like, oh, are you here, you know, on such a case? So you know what she says to me? And this is not the exact word, but she said, you're the best dressed plaintiff I've ever seen.
What does that mean?
I said, no, I'm the attorney. Oh, so I had a suit on. She just automatically thought because of my skin color, that I was just a party to the lawsuit.
Oh.
Right. She didn't view me as anything else but someone who's a party to the lawsuit. She said, "You're the best dressed plaintiff I've ever seen." So no, I'm the lawyer. Oh, I'm sorry. Right. Let me put another one. Last week.
So
right?
hold on. What does a party to the lawsuit mean?
Okay, so this when I was working at the personal injury firm. So you have a plaintiff, which is the person who's suing the other person. You have the defendant, the person who's being sued. So
Right.
those are the parties,
Okay.
the people involved in the lawsuit.
Okay.
Right. So last week I had to, I didn't have court, but I had to do some legal work. So I just I didn't have a suit on. I was like, I'm just gonna be casual today. I had a sweatsuit on, sweatpants, and I had a hoodie on, but I was still handling some legal work. I was like, all right, let me just go around handle my business. I go into this one office building, and I'm checking. I'm like, hey, I'm going up to suite 1310, to go speak with someone. They're like, oh, are you here for a deposition? So a deposition is when you're involved in like some sort of suit, like they want to ask you questions about what happened, right? So
is that like interrogation?
In a sense, yeah, in a sense,
Right.
but deposition more so for civil suits, is interrogation for criminal suits.
Got it.
So, are you here for a deposition? No, I'm a lawyer. I got to go up to such and such firm to go talk to them. But because of how I was dressed, instead of them saying, "Hey, what's your name? Which your business? What do you have to go up there for?" So I can let them know. They just automatically assumed I was a party to a lawsuit. After that I left. I had to go to family court. I had to handle something for one of my close friends. And I go in there, and it's this one lady. I always go to this lady because you only go to the lawyers. Like this lady only sees the attorneys. So I'm standing. I got my sweatsuit on. I'm standing there, and she like, "Can I help you?" I said, "No, I'm here to talk to you." Right? She sees me all the time, but every time she sees me, I have a suit on. She sees me. I said, "No, I'm here to talk to you." She said, "Okay, cool." So in like another minute or two, she's like, "Sir, you can just grab a clip." She's like, "Sir, get a clipboard, fill it out, take a number, go and talk to them ladies over there that didn't have a seat." I said, "No, I'm here to see you." She said, "What do you need?" I said, "Well, I'm trying to get a continuance for this case." She said, "Yeah, get a." I said, "Miss, I'm the attorney. I'm an attorney." "Oh, I'm sorry, counsel. Give me a minute." Within the next minute, she went found someone in the back to come help me. I'm like, wow, they talk like her whole demeanor changed when I said I'm an attorney.
Right.
Why? Like, aren't you? I mean, you're supposed to treat everyone with some sort of decency or some sort of professionalism if you work here. But because I had a hoodie on and sweatsuit, you view me different. This last one, that same day, and it's crazy. I'm like, I even like thought about putting up a post. I'm like, yo, they treat you different when you got a damn sweatsuit on. I go through the security line. You got the sheriffs in the security line. There's a line for staff and attorneys, and there's a line for people just coming to court. So I go through the line with the staff and the attorneys, and I can see like the sheriff looking sideways, like, what is this dude with this sweatsuit doing, walking through this line? So I get up to the metal detector. Sheriff dude always see me. Every time he see me, got a suit on. I got a suit on. Always see me. It's like, "Excuse me, sir." I was like, "Yeah, I'm an attorney. Can you show me your bar card?" What I say? He said, "Okay, cool, go ahead." I'm thinking like, I was like, "Dog, you always see me come through here."
Wow.
But because I don't have the suit on, you just automatically thinking I'm coming for something else.
But do you think that he didn't recognize you because you didn't have the suit on?
Not that many people come through that line.
Got you. Okay.
Especially not too many African Americans with a suit on come through that line because it's a line for the staff and the attorneys.
Gotcha.
Like you see me plenty of times.
Right.
So like I said, I'm
That's
not gonna say
definitely
racism,
discrimination.
but I'm not gonna say racism, but stereotype.
Yeah.
I was definitely stereotyped because I didn't have my suit on. And when I put on my credentials, everyone's whole demeanor like, "Oh, okay." So, I mean, that's just what I wanted to share real quick.
Cool. Definitely, family. If you are now tuning in, welcome. We have a very special guest here tonight with us, Attorney Derek M. Patterson. We have been talking about law. We've been talking about the justice system. We've been talking about his journey from taking the LSAT, taking situation in law school, and taking a bar exam. If you want to look at the full episode of this interview, definitely click the link in the bio and subscribe to our YouTube page. Click the link in the bio and subscribe to our YouTube page, excuse me, and the whole interview will be up on our YouTube page later on tonight. Awesome. Brother, before we get out of here, tell the family where they can reach you at.
If you want to reach me, you can give me a call at my office. That's area code 215-383-9959. Again, I'm attorney Derek Patterson. If you want to reach me on Instagram, my Instagram is actually at Patterson Injury. So PATTERSONINJURY. If you want to shoot me an email, my email is dpatterson, DPATTERSON, and it's at getthepil, GETTHEPIL1L.com.
Awesome, awesome. Brother, any last words before we depart?
Man, listen, like I said, I piggyback off a lot of things before. Listen, everybody, keep pushing forward. Whatever your dreams are, whatever you want to do in life, keep pushing forward. Don't get held in this box that society wants to keep us in. There's so many other things out in this world. Don't be caught up as a product of your environment. You know, I know we love our hoods, we love where we come from, but don't get caught in that. There's so much out here in this bigger world. And like you mentioned earlier, getting these rooms with these other entrepreneurs, getting rooms with people who are doing better than you. You know, they say if you walk into a room and you're the smartest person, you're in the wrong room.
Right.
If you walk into a room and you're the richest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Always challenge yourself. Always get uncomfortable. 50 Cent said, "Comfort kills ambition." If you comfortable, you won't be ambitious. Get uncomfortable, y'all. Get in situations that make that you don't feel good with. Right? Keep pushing forward. Do what you want to do in life. Don't let nobody tell you what you want to do. If you work a job is a paid internship. Learn everything you can learn from that job and take those skills and go elsewhere.
Word. Also, if you're the smartest person in a group, you need a new group of friends as well. You need a new circle because you need people that you can learn from. Indeed. So, family, we're going to end on that note. Thank you for hanging out with us here tonight on this Monday evening. Again, if you want to see the full episode, click the link in the bio and subscribe to our YouTube page and also our other previous episodes and interviews that we've done. I leave you as I greet you. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom, shalom. Hotep Islam. Alafia. Peace.
Appreciate you.